It's time for Transport Line, the program that showcases the contributions of all modes of transportation to the socio-economic growth and development of our nation, Africa, and the world. Transport Line is being beamed to you from the Center of Excellence, the state of aquatic splendor, and Africa's fifth largest economy, Lagos. I am Shina Ilegbede. Recall about almost a year ago now, let's say 10 months precisely, because this happened in October 2023. Mr. President launched the Compressed Natural Gas Project Initiative for precisely mass transit then. The reason given was for us to have a safer, cheaper, and environmental friendly source of energy to power vehicles. And I tell you, there have been that subtle transition underground. Unfortunately, majority of Nigerians are not really aware. And I'm very, very serious about it. We are not aware. So, well, thank God my good friend, one of the resource persons regularly on Transport Line, Ben Oko. I was discussing with him, and he said, look, he's going outside Lagos to do a project on CNG. Then he updated me. I said, wow, he even told me that there's a Southwest coordinator on this particular project. Said, look, this is not for the benefit of the anchor person of Transport Line alone. Let me bring them on board so that we carry people along who know what our government is doing to alleviate, yes, the cost of transportation. Today, everybody is talking about the rising cost of food items. But I tell you, if aside the issue of security, getting people to farm, we address the issue of transportation. That is making sure that the cost of transportation is reduced to the barest minimum. The cost of food items definitely will nosedive. So I have two personalities in the studio today who will talk to us, more or less update on the compressed natural gas project of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. On my immediate right, I have Oluwaseun Babafemi and, of course, Benedict Oko. Oluwaseun Babafemi is the coordinator of the project in terms of those who convert all these from petrol to natural gas. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you, sir.
Oluwaseun, you coordinate.
Yes, sir.
And like I said, it's an update. What is the story so far? How far have you gone? How many people have been brought into this? In fact, let's start with this issue of environmentally friendly means of fueling vehicles. Because today, we want to get rid of gasoline and PMS. We are richly blessed again, naturally, with compressed natural gas, like crude oil. So I don't know what is happening to us in this country, but let's have the story. So what is the story so far?
Okay, thank you so much, sir, for this opportunity. Then, first and foremost, Nigeria is a blessed nation. We are blessed. Now, when you talk about natural gas, we have it in abundance here. Because Nigeria, I dare say Nigeria is a gas nation.
Alan, we are the 8th in the world.
Good. Nigeria is a gas nation that has oil. We are not a oil nation that has gas. So let's lay more emphasis on the gas. Now, and you see, our president in his wisdom has looked at it and said, this gas is here. It's cheaper to run it. It's cleaner. It's better for the environment. Your car loves this gas. So why not make good use of this gas right here to reduce the stress on our people and how much they have to spend? Because you see, this gas does not really need to go through a refinery. Just the way it is, if you compress it at some particular pressure, it becomes compressed natural gas, CNG. If you to liquefy it means you have to cool it to about 162 degrees Celsius minus 162 degrees Celsius. It becomes liquefied. That's how you hear LNG.
LNG, okay.
If it's passing through a pipe, Sometimes they can call it PNG, pipe natural gas. So what we are dealing with here is natural gas. And it is not another kind of gas like the one used in cooking at home. It's different from LPG. LPG is a derivative of crude oil. So it will naturally behave like the petrols and the rest of them. The natural gas is closer to you than you even think. You know, some people are already dealing in biogas and the rest of them from the septic tanks. That's natural gas. The one at that Ojota dump site there, if you open it well, but just that you don't have the right quantity there that you can start, harvesting. So natural gas has always been around us. So it is a very safe, good fuel for our vehicles, an alternative. And it doesn't. The conversion that the federal government is pushing doesn't mean that your car, you now can't use petrol anymore. It means you now have the option. So your car will still work on petrol perfectly. So at the push of a button, you go on gas.
Gas. Wow.
The day you don't feel like you need gas, you want to go on petrol, you press a button, you go back to petrol. In fact, when we are done installing for you, what happens is that as you're going on gas, if for any reason your gas finishes, your car does not have to stop. It will switch automatically back to petrol till you can get to the next gas station and regas. And let me tell you something, sir. I traveled from here to Ibadan once on 3,000 naira worth of gas in a V6 vehicle. I didn't believe it. So it means that life can be easy.
How was the traffic? What was
It's
the
Lagos
duration?
Expressway.
The duration.
It's
No.
smooth.
Let's consider you are caught up in a long bridge traffic jam from Otedola Bridge before you navigate
I know
through.
that traffic.
So you take that in cognizance. You can have fantastic ideas overseas
Yes,
or what
sir.
have you, but you have to adapt it to
what is
suit the Nigerian environment. So how will you be? And you just said you can easily convert. How safe is it?
Oh, when we talk about safety, first let's talk about the fuel. You see, CNG is the safest of all the fossil fuels because it's just methane. You see, and when you talk about flammability, volatility, and all those kind of things, it is still the safest because it is lighter than air. You see, if you release CNG here, natural gas here, within seconds is in the air. But when you release LPG here, it stays on the ground waiting for a source of ignition before it will disperse. So that ability, that property that it has that makes it lighter than air makes it safer. In case of any form of spillage.
Combustion level, how safe?
No, before fire will even get to it, because it's very fast to go up.
Okay.
It's not as heavy as the other kind of gas.
Okay.
The air is heavier than it. So if the gas is released here right now, before you know it's in the air.
Okay.
So before ignition will come and meet it, it's
off.
gone.
Okay. Right.
So that's one of these properties that actually makes it one of the safest fossil fuel.
Now, let me go to my automobile consultant, my good friend, Ben Oko. Ben,
Yeah.
you are now into this now. Because, like I said, the other time I wanted to bring you on transport line, you said you're outside Lagos converting.
Absolutely.
Yes. You are involved in the conversion of this vehicle. The conversion you've been involved in, majorly, were they commercial vehicles? Were they transit buses? Were they privately owned vehicles?
Well, majorly,
And the process, please.
yeah, okay. Majorly, the vehicles I'm currently doing conversion on are vehicle on assembly line. There are certain companies.
Oh,
in
on
Nigeria-
assembly line.
Yeah.
Brand new.
Brand new.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
There are vehicles that have been assembled in this country. I'm not going to mention names.
Oh, I won't allow you. Because I will charge you. I'll also charge you for that. Yes.
So they also get the mandate from the federal government, from the presidency, that they have to produce vehicles that run on CNG. So all of them in total are actually working seriously to ensure they meet that target. So we are also working with our foreign partners that also provide the kits, which are high quality kit. I mean, in a business like this, you can't compromise using any sort of kit in the market.
Yeah, yeah.
So you have to get a reputable company
Certified.
that also produce these components. And these people also want to work with professionals who know how to handle these things and ensure that these things are properly installed on vehicles. So it's not like the roadside thing, this is what we want to avoid. And this is the reason why we have an association, which is the Green Clean Energy and Gas Practitioners Association of Nigeria, because we don't just want to allow anybody to get in. And then before you know it, already people have phobia for gas. So if anything happened now, they say, well, they said it before, gas is not safe and all that. So that is what we are trying to avoid, to ensure that this thing is handled properly by professionals and that people who are going to use it will also get the benefit. Because if it is not done properly, your vehicle will not run well. You lose power and all that. Yeah, of course, the calorific value of gas and liquid fuel is not the same. We know that very well. But again, if it is done properly, it's not something that you really notice that there's a little lag on it. We are talking about economy. If you want to drive a Formula One vehicle, then of course you know what kind of fuel you'll be using. So when we are talking about economy level, using CNG safely and ensure that you get the maximum performance from installing the kits on the vehicle.
Now, the first call of the presidency was that, look, this CNG will go for mass transit vehicles, oily vehicles and what have you. How far have you gone? Because in my intro, I mentioned the impact on the cost of transportation on rising food prices. So how do we get there? How do we free this problem we have now?
Well, I really must commend the presidential team that is in charge of this CNG. That's PCNGI, and that's in the person of Engineer Michael Olubemi. I think he's the director, and his team. You know, they were in Lagos just this weekend at this Ojota Park. You know, to inaugurate and sensitize the NURTW people, that's the transport people, about it, and also to introduce the framework for the distribution of the kits. Now, these kits are expensive. I really must commend the president for him saying.
Are they being given out gratis or they are being subsidized?
Yes, by what I found out, according to what they had there on Saturday, they're going to be issuing out vouchers to each of these commercial vehicle owners. Now, there are some centers within Lagos and other states that have been earmarked for these conversions, to which they would, and those ones would have been given the kits. They would distribute the kits to them, to the centers. Now, in a very structured way. Now, you have your voucher. They will tell you where your own conversion center is, and it's closer to you.
That is where Ben people come in.
Yes. So they will now come to you. So if you have your conversion, if the commercial drivers conversion center is somewhere in Alausa or in Dr. Ben's garage or in my garage, so you come with the voucher. I already know the list of those that should come. Once you come in, we see the voucher, you authenticate it, then you put your vehicle down, we install for you, we test it, then you go get gas. And gas is already in Lagos right now. I mean, we have about 4 stations working already that are already dispensing gas. More gas stations are coming up, like I heard. But at least in the meantime, in the commercial drivers can just drive in, and get gas, continue their journey. When you're coming back, maybe the gas level is low, you go again, you get another one. But this is cheap. Like I said, most times when you want to compare the amount you spend on petrol, it's always like, I tell people, divide it by 3. It's actually more than that. Whatever you spend on petrol, whether in traffic or on the road or anything, divide it by 3. That is what you end up spending on CNG to achieve the same amount. But most times it's even more than that for some particular vehicles.
Gentlemen, this scheme sounds laudable if conscientiously and practically implemented to benefit the citizenry.
Yes, big time.
Some commercial vehicles operators, from what you just said, have gotten this kit, probably conversion has been done. Probably you know this, I don't know this engineer you're talking about, CNGI people.
Yeah,
but the issue, we'll try to get in touch with them. How are they sure that when these vehicles were converted, it will reflect on the charges of rate they give to commuters patronizing the commercial buses. Because today, like I said, yes, food items also from point A to B, it costs a lot.
Yes, sir.
Now the question again from both of you is this. Now, you just mentioned Otedola Ibadan, but I tell you, at times you might be stuck in traffic Koroduru for 2 hours. Though indirectly you told me that you can easily convert. How many people can convert? Assuming, because the way things are, Nigerians, if from your description, gas is cheaper, fine. They would rather make sure that they have enough, quote unquote, adequate gas to move from point A to B. Unfortunately, nobody can predict traffic, especially in a metropolitan area like Lagos. So what happens? Are you going to be experiencing broken down vehicles not because of lack of gas, but because of traffic gridlock? And now the question is this: have you more or less liaised? It's very important. There should be synergy between your association, like LASMA, Traffic Division of the Nigerian Police Force, so that they will know, so that in case there will be steady rescue team to move the vehicles off the road. But the issue is this: are we sure that if I'm taking a vehicle from Lausa now to Awuyaya, and I tell you, every day you take 3 hours to get there from here. So what happens?
Well, let me come here briefly. For instance, the price of the gas. Let me just make a simple analogy so that our viewers will also get to really understand how cheap the gas is. A 65-liter CNG tank, for instance, will take like 3,000 or highest 3,500 to fill it up.
3.2.
Okay, 3,200 for 65 liters. Now, if you are going to get, although the quantity is not the same when you're using liquid fuel. Now, but just picture it: you buying petrol, that much quantity. How much do you think it's going to cost you? That is on one side. And again, talking about breaking down and all that, I don't think that will arise here. Because when you install a CNG on a vehicle, it's not like it's a non-destructive installation. That is one, because you have to integrate it with the vehicle system. And that is why you need someone who really knows about it to actually install it. Otherwise, I mean, it takes a lot of fabrication, electrical, mechanical, piping and all that. It takes a lot. So if someone is not really versed in all these areas, there's no way they'll be able to do it successfully. And then it also has safety devices. You have a gauge there that gives you the amount of gas you have left. So it's not like you're driving and then you don't know the quantity of gas. And again, if your gas is going low, definitely you must have some quantity of petrol. And seamlessly it switches.
Okay.
It's not like you have to stop the car and then restart again.
Okay.
On its own, it switches automatically
without
the engine going off.
Good.
So if you're enjoying your AC, you still enjoy your AC and then it switches to gas or switches back to petrol.
Petrol, okay.
So the issue of breakdown doesn't even come in here at all.
Okay. Oluwaseun,
Yes, sir.
to date, how many CNG stations have we, let me take Lagos State for example, or Metropolitan Lagos for example, have we installed?
Okay. Currently, I'm aware of 4.
Just 4?
Just 4. I think there's one in Agidingbi, not too far from us.
Yes,
here.
I know.
Mobile. There's
Yes.
another one at Mushin Challenge. There's a
Okay.
mobile at Mushin Challenge where they also dispense.
Okay.
I heard of another one at Apapa. Then also another one at I think Shangotedo. Now there is one at
We have
Ilas.
2 at Ikorodu.
Okay.
Okay, 2 there, okay.
At
Yeah.
Ikorodu also.
Yeah, 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Then that makes it 6 now. So
There
there's
should be at Inekpe or non Inekpe, non in Badagry.
well, I think there's another
Those
one at
Ibile
Ilasa.
thing is always there. Whenever you do anything for Lagos State, always remember Ibile, Ikorodu, Badagry, Ikeja, Lagos, and Ekpe. Those are the 5 tripods that holds Lagos State. But the issue is this: if you have those, like I said, yes, I know it's going to be a gradual process.
Yes.
But for instance, you are engaged in the conversion or installation rather for vehicles already under the manufacturer's
Yeah.
operating line, okay? But you now look at somebody like me,
Okay, sir.
Oluwaseun, I want to convert my vehicle. What does it cost? How do I go about it?
Okay. First, you have to meet conversion centers that are being registered.
Where are they located?
And
I
well,
think there's a list.
there's a list
Where?
online on PCNGI sites. Then also, there are independent people who do conversions who are also certified by NEDDC.
Okay.
Because the certifying body is NEDDC. NEDDC has a National Automotive Design and Development Council. They are the ones that issue. So before you even want to do your conversion with any conversion center, whether you see the advert or something, ask them, are you certified? Can I see your NEDDC license? And that should give you some calmness that, okay, these people know
And
what they are
safe
doing.
hands.
Yes. Now, for ordinary people who want to convert, which we tell people to do it, you just take a it takes roughly around between 2 to 3 days for conversion. I mean, it depends. So they would first do an assessment of your vehicle. We'll check for different mechanical things. There are things, sometimes when somebody comes to my office and say he wants to do conversion, I'll first bring you in, I'll check 1 or 2 things, and I'll write where I say, take it back to your mechanic. Go sort this out, go sort it out before coming. Especially if the vehicle is having misfire. I mean, your vehicle is misfiring. We can't really do conversion for you if your chassis is not okay. Because the chassis is what's going to carry the tank. Tank is quite heavy. So if we check under, your chassis is having issue. So there are little things we will check that we will tell you, go correct this thing before bringing it back to us. So when you bring it to us and we are done with the conversion, you enjoy. Go get gas.
Indirectly, that answers the question I was about to put you, that does age of the vehicle I'm using has to do with it. I have a 10-year-old vehicle that I'm riding, okay? It's personal and it's sound. Never mind the age. Thank God. When you maintain your vehicle, no,
Maintenance is the thing.
Yes.
Yeah. The age doesn't really
He's
matter.
over 10 years old, and I tell you, it will take you to even Maiduguri. I'm not joking.
Wow.
Of course, you stop over, you do normal refilling, not straight drive, okay? But the issue is this: does age of the vehicle has anything to do with it as regards conversion? You've mentioned that yes, the blah blah blah, but I know some people, they import a vehicle that is about 20 years old overseas because you were imported, of course, because of the condition there, hello clean, grade 1, but by the time you do the necessary thing, like you said, all this, so these are very important issues I think you get across. Like I said, I'll try to bring in the coordinator, the CNGI
Yes.
of the federal government, because it seems as if they weren't really in charge. So it will really tell us where, and again, only few people knows where all these centers are. There should be adequate publicity. Well, I hope we've been able to enlighten and educate the viewership alone enough, because right now we have to round up. I want to thank you, gentlemen, for finding time to come, because CNG project, we have petrol, we have gas, will not be the same thing, but we more or less indirectly allay our fears that no, it won't be like the crude oil where they will import, especially the issue of refining.
Yes.
Oluwaseun, Baba Femi,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you very much for being
Thank you
there.
so much, sir.
Ben,
Thank you, sir.
My pleasure.
Oku,
Thank you, sir.
I appreciate you always.
Thank you.
God bless you both, gentlemen.
Amen. Thank you, sir.
Well, before we draw the curtain, please continue to be your brother's keeper. That way, we have a better society. Be compassionate. Till next week, bye bye for now.